Welcome to Comically Comics, your one-stop listen to all things comics. We're talking books, movies, TV shows, video games, and more. I must forewarn you, though, we are a spoilercast, and what that means is we consider all properties, past, future, and present, to be valid, and we will spoil the hell out of them. I'm your host, Michael, along with my two co-hosts, Richard and Jeremy, and with all that being said, let's get started. Alrighty, this Sunday, February 25th, and we're going to take you on a wild ride, and we're going to go ahead and do 4 or 5 and get this Maya Echo series done and over with.
I really didn't think you were going to say Maya. Thought you were going to say motherfucking Echo.
I probably should have.
Echo.
Yeah. Nope, we're canceling that now. Shutting it down. Episode 4. Hello?
No, that's where Shang-Chi was. Yeah.
Shang-Chi,
no, it's
right.
Taloa.
Taloa. That's right, because this is the daughter.
Yeah, it's Maya's mom.
Correct. In this episode, Maya basically has to make a choice, and she is offered queenpinship. I don't know. I don't know how you want to put that. Whelmings on this, guys. Whelmings. What is y'all's whelmings with this episode?
So for this particular episode, my whelming is actually pleasantly whelmed for this one. I mean, it was a pretty good little episode. Nothing too crazy happening with it, but I still had some stuff in there that I enjoyed. They pleasantly whelmed.
Nice. Richard.
I'm back to pleasantly whelmed with this episode. I liked all the stuff we saw with Fisk, but that was about it. I will say all of that kind of sort of goes out the window for the next episode, but
spoilers.
Whelmed to pleasantly whelmed. You don't know what that means yet.
Could just shoot right up to overwhelmed.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, that's true. Could go the other way. Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out in 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
that's part of the reason why we're going ahead and doing 4 and 5, because these episodes actually get shorter the longer the more into the season you get. Whereas these were around the 30-minute mark, which was weird to me, honestly. I'm going to echo Richard. I'm probably on the high end of whelm into pleasantly whelmed, and really for the episode it went backwards. I started out as pleasantly whelmed and then went down into the whelming. Chula is a buzzkill.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking about putting that in my whelming, when typing this up, was I liked all the Fisk stuff and I hated all the Chula stuff.
Yeah, because my first note for Chula, let's just go ahead and get into this. Henry takes Maya to go see Chula because she's having visions and stuff, and he knows that Chula can probably figure out what's going on. So this is the first time that Maya actually sees Chula, and my note was Chula sucks. Couldn't be around Maya because her and her mother are so alike. That's the most bullshit answer I think I've ever had of a relative not being around somebody.
Yeah.
You just remind me so much of who I love. The fuck you said? Get out of here.
Yes.
I lose my mama at a young age, and I remind you of her, and you can't be around me. What the fuck does that even mean?
I agree with you 150%. Mine is, I'm sorry, but I do not feel sorry for Chula at all. When she's explaining how there's this unbreakable connection between mother and daughter, and how when Maya's mom was killed, Chula was so heartbroken she wanted to die. Chula not once thought that maybe the bond between her, Maya, and her mom is unbreakable as well.
Yep.
It just comes off so fucking selfish. And then I love just when Maya calls her out. Also, it felt like at some point in that conversation, they were having 2 different conversations, because she's all the ancestors from generations are calling back to you. And then Maya's you chose yourself or whatever. It just felt that whole conversation felt weird at that moment. It felt like, Grandma Chula is being senile right now. I don't know. It was very odd to me. But yeah, I liked when she called her out on her bullshit.
Oh yeah, I agree. And that was the thing I had said, whenever she walked in and Chula was trying to be offering a drink and cookies or whatever, and Maya's just no, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way. We're going.
I will say the writing for Maya has been solid throughout, to me anyways. The writing for Maya has been solid throughout the whole thing, and she has been the same character. She has been consistent, I believe, across the board.
I will say that up until the next episode.
Oh no, we're talking about this episode. I wasn't referring to episode 5.
Okay, good. Because anyway, we'll get into that when we get into it. Anyway.
You mentioned something about the generations echoing. So we're getting
Correct.
the origin of her name now,
Yeah.
and her namesake, which we can dive more into this. My question is, do y'all like this? Do y'all like this explanation of the new character name of Echo?
Not really, no. I mean, I think it's. I can see how it's cool. I know that's a part of their. That's a big part of their traditions, their culture, and things like that. So I think bringing that into it is cool, and I enjoy it. But I think it would have been cool more of like the sound vibrations stuff, like her like being able to use that part of like as a reasoning for Echo there too. Like it's just I don't know.
Well, that's what I was going to say is her original name isn't because she's deaf. It's just like a play on like, haha, she's deaf, Echo, kind of thing. It's because her original powers was she copied people like Taskmaster. So she was an
Right.
echo
Okay.
of that person, a reverberation, if you will. You know how like
Yeah.
sound travels, hits something and bounces back. Like that's what her powers does. I like this better, in my opinion, just because it makes more sense. But I don't really care one way or the other as far as like how she got her name, really, because half the time they don't ever use their superhero names except for maybe
That's true.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, he has no choice now.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess because I had the same kind of issues with Kamala Khan, where they changed her power set.
Right.
They went with the light forms of embiggening, which when they started doing that was better, but her creating the platforms and stuff like that, that just bothered me. I feel like we're getting into the Walking Dead territory is what I feel like we're doing, where we're sticking with the characters. However, we're going to change them just enough to do something
Oh.
different. And I feel like that's when the Walking Dead really started going downhill, is where like they started changing certain things about the Walking Dead. And it was like, but that's not
Yeah.
not the comic book. That's not, you know what I mean? And I know that you don't have to be exactly like the book. I get that. And I'd want there to be some kind of difference, but I still want people to be, I don't know, like I want to see that comic book stuff come to life, you know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Again, I'll talk more about her power set when we get into the next episode, but you could have done this a cooler way. You could have done this way, like you could have done it still showing like her Native American, the Choctaw heritage, and bringing that into her power set. But you could have done it in a cooler way that they don't really do for the final episode. And
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear about that. I am
Yeah.
super curious.
I kind of want to skip to it, but I don't. I do have some things to say about this episode.
One thing I was going to say, like on this one, that kind of going back to where you're talking about her character writing, and kind of following along with that, to me, like her little quips, like things that she says that just kind of catch you off. Like whenever Kingpin was saying that they want to have Sunday dinner, and she goes,
It's Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Right? Yes.
I chuckled at that one.
Man, this is the episode where my wife was like, "Are these two your like spirit animals here? Like, is this?" Because I was cracking up the entire time throughout Maya and Kingpin's conversation, like the entire, just both of them back and forth. Vincent D'Onofrio hoping the cookies don't go the same way of the wine, which
Yeah.
is down the
Right.
drain. I was like, that's great.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. Apparently, that's a real place. The Levain cookies. Apparently, they're fucking amazing. From what I hear, never had them, but anyway, yeah, I wrote the same note down. Okay, so we brought up Kingpin for a second. Back at the beginning of the episode, when Kingpin beats the living shit out of the ice cream vendor, I specifically wrote a note down. Michael, what do you think of Fisk's suit in this scene?
I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
I absolutely love it. And my note was, bruh should have just given her the ice cream. Like, it'd have been a lot cheaper on his end.
I was like, what dumbass doesn't know that, like, when she starts doing
Yeah.
ASL at him, it's like, oh, you're deaf. And because he's like, use your words. I'm like, dumbass. Like, what are you doing?
He must have got robbed earlier in the day or something like
I
that. I
guess.
don't know. Because, yeah, he was being a dick.
Yeah.
I will say this. I was thinking about like Kingpin a lot for this scene, just because he always, like, in the comic, he always has that white suit. And like
Yeah.
the whole point of it is to hammer home like a couple of points of like, one, like, in other words, to wear that suit is a choice. And what I'm getting at is like, one, white kind of disarms you. You think it's more inviting, it's brighter, it's friendlier. But two, is you've made a choice of like, I will do nothing that will dirty this suit up. And that's who
Right.
Kingpin is as a character. He's like, no, I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to put, $15 million for your head and have someone else kill you. I will ruin your life before I have breakfast in the morning. Like that is who Kingpin is. But this is the most we've ever seen Kingpin get his hands dirty. Like Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. So many times he
Yeah.
like beats the shit out of somebody or like kills someone or whatever. I like it, but it's very interesting to see, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get exactly what you're talking about, but I love it. I love seeing him that hands-on in certain
Yeah.
situations.
Yeah.
It's not every situation, just certain ones that in this one, I feel like he just kind of lost it.
Yeah.
What gets me is that I don't understand at that point in time the connection he has with Maya.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's kind of weird.
Well, it feels like they're doing the Thanos Gamora thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
It really feels like that's what they're doing here. Because Kingpin's picking her up, and I'm like, Maya's dad's alive at this point. Why isn't Maya? And I know she
Right.
calls him like Uncle Fisk or whatever, but it just feels very weird. Like, why was Kingpin so interested? Like, did he know that she had power? Like, we have to get into the next episode for me to also like bitch about certain things about that.
Well, it was almost like, is he trying to raise an assassin? Is he trying to raise the next generation of like workers?
Yeah, I feel like that is what it is. He saw potential in her like fighting abilities when she was doing like the karate and she kicked that like other little kid's ass. Was it in this season or was it in
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye? Anyway, you see her and she's squaring off against that kid in like her like karate class and she
Yeah.
like kicks his ass. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Another question. Did the guy that Kingpin was calling to get the suit, did he get fired for letting Maya out of the
Oh, yeah.
vehicle?
No, he got murdered.
Well, that's what I meant by
Yeah.
fired.
You
Like-
don't get fired by Kingpin. You get the only firing that goes on is a gun at your head.
Right.
Yeah, and it was blatantly obvious there at the beginning where he just shot the interpreter. I was like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
A couple of things real quick. One, when Maya gets out and then he's like on the phone calling with someone and he's like, I need to change the suit and make sure Maya doesn't see this. And my wife was like, he has a guy and like an extra wardrobe like in that vehicle. And I was like, look, if you're an overweight man in the city during the summer wearing a 3-piece suit, I was like, I would sweat through that suit by noon. I would need an absolute change of clothes.
Absolutely. No, yeah, I would absolutely. I mean, well, and then too, like being the man that Kingpin is,
Yeah.
he's going to be prepared.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, what happened if he spilled chicken noodle soup on it?
What? Why chicken noodle soup?
Because it's tan.
I'm like, it's New York. Why not pizza or something? Like, chicken noodle
Kingpin's
soup.
not eating pizza.
Yes, he is. Oh, he absolutely is. But back to your interpreter thing. When that happens and they're like taking her down the hallway and there's plastic up, my wife is like, holy shit, are they going to kill her? And I was like, no, I think because I like paused it and I was like, no, I think they're trying to establish like when this takes place because spoilers for season 3 of Daredevil, but Bullseye shows up at Kingpin's apartment and Daredevil shows up and they have that 3-way fight scene and they just wreck the apartment. So I thought the plastic was up from like them renovating the apartment and they were establishing like this was after Daredevil season 3 or something.
Okay.
And then they just murder her. And I was like, oh, nope, never mind.
Okay. So pause real quick,
Okay.
Jeremy, because I know you haven't seen the Daredevil series.
Yeah.
What did you think when you saw it?
I honestly thought like there was going to be renovations too. Like,
You
I
thought
don't know.
renovations too?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't think he was taking her down there just to kill her.
shit. I don't know what this says about me because my note says that poor lady should have known. I saw the plastic up and I was like, oh, that bitch is gone. There's no way. Like,
Well, you and my wife apparently think a lot alike. So I don't know what that says about her. Love you, hon.
great. Let's see. The last thing I had for the first of it, which was Kingpin kicking that ice cream guy's ass was Maya kicking the guy made me laugh as well
God.
because
Yeah.
that turning point for her and Kingpin, I was like, this is awesome. I love it.
These last 2 episodes, they really hammer home that Maya has some like psychopathic tendencies, like kicking that guy. In the next episode, she kills or hurts she tries to kill a not hummingbird, a woodpecker.
Well, I do believe her that she was just trying to like see if she could hit it.
Yeah,
I do believe that part only because kids do stupid shit like that.
Yeah, but that is straight up a psychopathic tendency of like, I shot at an animal to see if I could hit it, not like actually caring about the feelings of the animal.
I mean, I see differently, but when we get to the point where it's the ice cream guy, I think that reverts back to what Kingpin was saying when she was an adult, and he was like, "You need to be aimed at something. You need to have purpose." Because she was already mad at that point in time because her mom had died. You know what I mean? And then you get to a point where her dad has died then. So like, I feel like it was just a repetition of that, where she loses one because of, gang bullshit. And now she's lost another because of, what she thinks is something else.
I think they're trying to establish, because she's supposed to be an anti-hero, that she's just, because she's been unapologetically like an anti-hero throughout this entire series. Like she's been like, yeah, I killed Kingpin and now I'm going to be Queenpin. I want the crown. I want to take over the empire. I don't care. And like, even to the point where she goes back home and endangers her entire family to go to war. So like, they clearly have set up that she is kind of devoid of certain emotions. And this is just adding to that, I think.
Well, yes, I agree. And because of conversation that she has later on. Is it later on?
With who?
With Kingpin. Yeah, conversations that she has later on with Kingpin, basically saying like making a monster into a hero, and adding to that, basically what you're saying of taking advantage of the fact of like her emotions being skewed and making certain things okay that aren't necessarily right in society.
Well, that whole conversation is basically establishing like she fucking knew exactly what she was doing. Like she is absolutely a monster as Kingpin is. Like that's why he's like, so who's really the monster here? Yes, he did manipulate her, but she knew exactly what she was getting into over time. She was not naive.
See, I think the other way. I think that she was just realizing like what all she had actually done. Like I know she knew what she was doing throughout all that stuff, but I think she was just realizing like it was not normal. It was not okay. It was not. I think she was just then starting to realize that, and she was mad about it.
No, I disagree, but because like that makes her incredibly dumb if that's the case.
I think she was just blind.
No, she's deaf.
Right. All right. So the other biggest thing is Kingpin has on an eye patch.
Yeah.
So the eye patch on top of he's brought a gift to Maya, contact list for Maya, an earpiece from himself that will actually do sign language for Maya to understand what he's saying and for her to for him to understand what she's signing. Which I don't get how that works. Maybe he has an eyepiece as well. I don't know. Is that Stark Tech? Do y'all think this is Stark Tech?
I hope it's not, just because when I actually see it, when you see the virtual, like I specifically wrote down, the VFX for the virtual interpretation hands that Maya sees when she's wearing the contacts looks like a Wii U game graphics. It looks like Just Dance. It looks like the game Just Dance or something. It looks bad. I was like, what? Out of all the like holographic stuff we've seen throughout the MCU and even like Disney Plus stuff, I'm like, this is the best you could do for that scene.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But yeah, he obviously has to have some kind of contact too. So I think that's what he took that eye patch off for. I mean, it seems like it did. That's the reason why he took it off, because it was interpreting in his ear what she was saying.
Right. But do you think it's Stark Tech?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're getting at is like, did Fisk buy Stark Tower and he has all the tech? That's the rumor. More than likely it is. That could be an easy way to set it up, especially with Armor Wars coming out. So yeah, I mean, it could be. I don't want it to be just because it looked bad. And I expect more out of Stark Tech.
Well, what got me on it is he said that he had that piece commissioned.
Right.
I lean more towards stuff being Stark Tech based off his eye patch. we'd seen in Age of Ultron where Hawkeye had his side mended by a machine
Right.
and it was synthetic, like I can't remember, fibers, mesh, something like that was supposed to make him feel and look real.
It was the same stuff that Vision is made out of. I forget what it's called, but
Oh, I think
because that's Amadeus Cho's mom, and she was like the expert at whatever. That's why.
Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's Amadeus Cho's mom.
That's cool.
That's why Ultron captures her, because he's like, I want you to make me a new body out of this vibranium.
Got you. So that's why I was leaning more towards Stark Tech, only because the eye patch mainly, not, and then the interpretation just was like a bonus on top of that. So, which would lead me, yes, to believe that he probably has purchased Stark Tower.
Yeah, I like that idea.
But at the same time, I feel like Tony would have known about Kingpin in his bullshit.
Yeah.
So would Tony really sell Stark Tower?
Well,
And he wouldn't leave all his shit either.
Tony's dead, so it would be
Now.
would Pepper sell Stark Tower? Supposedly in Spider-Man Homecoming, they cleared all that shit out.
Right.
So I don't know. I kind of think instead of he bought Stark Tower, he has like someone is selling. This is what you need to do. That is Stark Tech, and somebody else is selling Stark Tech on the black market. And because Kingpin is Kingpin, the Kingpin of crime, he's like, yeah, I've got a shitload of unsanctioned black market Stark Tech.
Which goes back to him saying, I had this commissioned.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see it going either way. I feel like, though, if you make him where, oh, yeah, I bought Stark Tower and this stuff came with it, that kind of does mess up Homecoming.
Yeah.
Because Tony was purposely moving stuff out because at that point, Stark Tower had been sold.
Yeah.
And he was alive at then.
I don't know if the tower was sold, but they were moving out, because it wasn't until Far From Home that it's like something new is coming or something on the building. I forget what it said, but anyway.
Oh, I thought it had been sold. I had to go back and watch. I like the comment that Maya has with Fisk at dinner. It says, "Oh, I assure you, I wanted you dead." Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. I thought it was fitting that she took the head of the table when going to have dinner with him, because that usually means like if you take the head of a table, you're trying to establish dominance and the lead of whatever. Especially since in the dinners we saw before Kingpin was at the head,
Yeah.
where Maya sat at his right.
Mm-hmm.
So this time she sat at the head, Kingpin sat at her right.
Right.
And then I thought it was ridiculous they still did not have dinner. That was the shortest dinner ever that nobody ate at.
Yeah, I thought that too. He was like, they set everything out. He drops the knife. He hands it back to her. And he's like, well, it's getting late. Gotta go. And I'm like, y'all didn't even eat anything. Y'all just like, y'all unpacked everything and left. Was he that mad about the, what was the name of that wine?
The wine.
Oh, damn it. I forgot how to pronounce it. Lafayette? I don't know. Anyway.
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
So we catch up with Biscuit as well. He's at the junkyard, still working on Chula's truck.
Yeah.
This idea that Chula's truck is like a storyline now in this TV show is ridiculous.
It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. And what happens to Chula's truck is fucking dumb.
Apparently.
Actually, you know what it is? It leads me into one of my last notes for this episode. I love the ASL for stupid. It's stupid. That's stupid. I think that's funny that's the sign for stupid.
Fist to the forehead, y'all that are listening. Fist to the forehead is stupid. So I like Fist's response when Maya comes in with the gun. I suspect you're come to kill me again.
Yeah, that was funny.
I know. I made that note too. I was like, who gets to say that you tried to kill me again? Like,
and again, I laugh because this is me. And then spot on, Richard didn't care enough to learn sign. She calls him out on it.
Oh yeah,
that's something you called out however long ago. That like, hey, he learned how to speak these different languages, but like he does not even care enough to actually take the time to learn how to sign.
Yeah,
that was my last note. Y'all got anything else?
Actually, I do. I skipped past it. The last episode ended with like the uncle kind of like acting like, oh yeah, I'm going to help you. We're going to go to war to Kingpin. And then he does like fuck all this episode. I just thought that was weird to me.
Bro, he's still cleaning the skate rink.
Yeah, but who cares? He may die going to war with Kingpin. Who gives a shit about that skating rink right now?
He doesn't want to leave it a mess for whoever inherits it.
Okay.
There's this kid still at the red light. So.
Yeah,
That's great.
that was funny too. That was funny. I just find it weird, man, that he was just like, yeah, we're going to war, and then crickets. Like, it's just
Yeah. Except for driving him to Chula's.
yeah. I thought it was super fucked up that Kingpin still keeps that hammer.
Oh, yeah. But it's not even bloody either.
Well, yeah, because he probably cleaned it. He didn't just like leave it bloodied.
Yeah.
The man wears white suits. You don't think he's going to clean the hammer that he bludgeoned somebody with?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, jeez. Any other notes for episode 4?
Nah, that's it for
That's
me.
it.
All right, y'all hold on to your butts. Here we go. Episode 5, Maya. Richard,
Oh, we're starting with me.
whelming.
Okay. I was so utterly underwhelmed by this episode that it kind of ruins the whole fucking series for me. What a dog shit of an ending. Maya's character arc is so bad that it makes no sense that I can't even say what it was. It's just completely off the rails while doing somersaults.
Jeremy?
Sure. Ditto. I honestly, I just wrote whelmed on this one. It was just very, very lackluster. The action lasted all of like 2 seconds, and it was a very empty feeling.
Yeah, that's about the same. Same, very, very whelmed. There was a lot of build up to something that could have been really cool. And it's like you finish it off to try and do some kind of redemptive character arc there at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I already hated hashtags, and this didn't help any in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those of you who have not seen it, because we're spoiling the shit out of it, Maya to bring upon the power of the ancestors as far as like healing or entering, I guess, the mind, she throws up 2 fingers in the form of a hashtag and puts that either on a chest or a forehead from what we tell in this episode. And so that's what Jeremy's referring to is the hashtag power set. Hashtag.
Hashtag power set. Hashtag.
Hashtag power set.
Yeah.
That won't be confusing at all.
Right. My synopsis for this is conclusion at the powwow. Biscuits gets all kinds of jobs, and he's him and was it Jimmy Jack
Billy
Jimbo?
Jack.
Billy Jack. That's it.
Jimmy Jack.
Jimmy Jack. I was close. They're in charge of parking lot, and they don't do a good job apparently.
Yeah.
I liked that we got another Chula and Grandpa moment where she goes in to get a sewing machine, which I thought was pointless because she'd already sewn Maya's costume that she gets in this episode. But the comment of, I know you would come back for it. I just had to wait. Meaning not only the sewing machine that she'd come back for, but him. So I kind of hope that they get back together and rekindle something, even though I'm not a fan of Chula.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It was a heartwarming part or something. I don't know. But yeah, it felt very unnecessary.
Out of everybody in this TV show, the grandpa fucking deserves to be happy. I'm just here to say it.
Yeah.
That old man has not done anything wrong.
Yeah.
And he deserves happiness.
Yeah. Scully's great. I like Scully a lot. My note for there was he got a new shirt. That was a different shirt.
Oh, I didn't notice.
How did you not notice that?
Man, I gave up on his laundry.
Okay.
I totally gave up on his laundry. I just figured it didn't happen anymore. Chula did it, and he just didn't give a fuck anymore. Another note that I had, though, was the little shit kid that knocked the mail out of Chula's hand.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she needs her ass
Oh, yeah. It
whooped.
didn't even stop. Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
like, sorry.
I forgot about the kid because immediately when Kingpin shows up, I was like, my note literally says, it's really weird seeing Kingpin in a post office. I just don't know. I don't know why. Like, it's just weird seeing him standing there. Like, I was just like, this is a weird scene for me.
The most weird part about that scene was Chula answering about the necklace.
Oh, yeah.
And she keeps it up now with the sign language
Oh,
for her
yeah.
granddaughter.
Even though
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
You just didn't talk to her or nothing like that. She came to you,
Yeah.
but you keep it for man.
Yeah.
Fuck
no.
you, Chula.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. No, she's a poorly written character. She seems like that type of like grandparent or something that like doesn't want to do anything with the grandkids except for like every once in a while so she can like tell her other like people whatever at church that she's like a good grandma or something.
She goes to bridge and she has new stories to
Yeah.
tell people.
Right, exactly.
Just so she can fit in. Fuck that old lady.
Yeah.
I thought that was Bonnie instead of Maya's mom. When Maya goes to Chula's house to check on her, see if she's there. She walks into where her sewing room is, and there's somebody standing there. And I was like, well, shit, what's Bonnie doing there? And then I was like, that's not Bonnie.
Yeah. They do have similar features. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Man, so that right there, like, so I have a whole section about like, what the hell was this ending? And it kind of just starts with this. Like, I feel like Maya's mom having superpowers to heal a fucking bird is something that you bring up in the first half of the series, but there's no fucking mention of it at all. Just because, like, it's so bizarre. You see that flashback of where she heals the hummingbird kind of thing. They did no setup for this like ending thing with like her, like Maya now has the power to heal childhood trauma. Like, and I'm just going to get into my ending unless you want to talk about some other things real quick.
I'll circle back if I can.
Okay.
Whatever, it'll be fun. Let's go.
All right. So I'm going to recap a little bit. We talked a little bit about both episode 4 and 5. They show that Maya at a young age, I mentioned how she has like psychopathic tendencies. One with the flashback in 2008 when she kicks the ice cream vendor. 2 when she shoots at the bird. In episode 4, they even hammer it home with Kingpin saying, "Who's the monster?" speech. And honestly, all throughout the series, they make Maya into this unapologetic anti-hero who wants to take over and become the kingpin, the queenpin of crime. And they, to the point where she puts her family in danger. They show that she has this, like, she's this awesome fighter in episode 1 with Daredevil and episode 3 at the roller skate rink.
All right.
They show that she has this awesome powers by summoning her ancestors' special skills to use that in fighting, such as the sharpshooter ability, the throwing the ski balls, the strength of pushing the train away. So you would think inevitably all this would lead to a showdown with Kingpin, where she's using her powers to summon different skills to take on Kingpin, i.e., like whatever, she has an ancestor that's super fast and she's running around like dodging like bullets and stuff like that. And then like Kingpin and her fight, and she uses that weird like super strength to like fight back Kingpin. And then she, whatever, uses her sharpshooting ability to take out the shooters. Do we get any of that? No. Do you know what happens? She summons her ancestors. They hold hands while singing Kumbaya, and she heals Kingpin's fucking emotional trauma. And I was like, what the shit? Like, what the actual shit? Like, what is this? Like, this is not like, if you wanted to have her redeem herself, you got to set that up by like episode 2, since we only got 5 episodes. They have made her so and rightfully so. She's supposed to be like an anti-hero. Like, she's going to be like Punisher or Wolverine or something. But then they go and do this shit. And I was just like, what a tone-deaf dog shit ending. Like, honestly, when Kingpin was like, what did you do? What did you do? I was screaming the same thing. Like, what did you do? I don't know what's happening here.
It really was like after he left, like he was getting in the car. I was like, wait, that was the fight scene?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Did I miss like it was literally done in like 2 seconds and that was it. And I was like, what? So grandma got a strong punch in there.
Yeah.
And then Bonnie got one too. So I'm like, apparently that happened involuntarily. And they didn't even question that afterwards either. They're just like, hey, cool fight. You know, give me powers and stuff. Like, why don't you do it again so I can live another like 80 years or something?
Right, yeah. I would have been fine with her sharing some kind of ancestor power with her grandma and her sister if they had somehow set that up from episode 1. But because they show Maya's mom doing all that shit in the last episode, it just feels so like, honestly, this episode feels rewritten. Like it feels like it ended a completely different way, and they were like, we're gonna do this because it's just so sloppily written.
But even in that part, how did Maya know that she could give her abilities to Chula and to Bonnie? Like that was not part of what her mom did. But
the ancestors told her.
Yeah, like, well, no. What I was going to say is if you show that at the beginning that Maya's mom has that, you could set up how she's learning how to use those abilities as the episodes go on. But none of that shit's done. And it's just fucking bad. It's so bad. Like, and it would have been so cool because what's her name? The actress that plays Maya.
Walla Cox.
Alaqua Cox. She does a lot of her own like choreography and stunts and fights and stuff like that. So she is a good like actual fighter. So get her in there kicking people's ass, and you could easily you could still make her power set cool. Like I said, she could summon some ancestor that was this big strong person, and she's like hand to hand like fighting King Piss, like whatever. They like grip each other's hand, and she's like pushing him back, and then she like punches him in the gut, and he like falls back. And you could make it to where Kingpin, in other words, he does retreat and goes back to New York to like lick his wounds. And then like Maya realizes, I don't want to be like the king. They've already kind of set up like she denied the Queen Pin title, but you could say like she doesn't want to now because it's endangering her family kind of stuff. Like there's better ways you could have done this, and it was just so fucking bad.
Yeah, the idea of like her going toe to toe with Kingpin would have been nice, because you could have echoed the Echo.
Exactly.
With her getting the powers from generations before, but also just going toe to toe, matching power for power, matching blow for blow, echoing whatever Kingpin did. You could incorporate all that then.
Right.
So that she matched up to his standard.
Right.
Apparently she's got some really strong fingers, because he was coming in for like a kill shot, and she just poked him with her 4 fingers to do the hashtag basically and stopped him.
Yeah.
Hashtag stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's God damn it. That's what they should change your name to, hashtag. Honestly, and the thing that irritates me, so I've read online, so the series with Daredevil's called Born Again. Someone is speculating that possibly it's referring to Daredevil Born Again, but it could be that what Maya did, Kingpin is now born again, if you will. Like she has healed his trauma. So what he plans on doing in New York could be that he's actually somewhat changed a little bit. And that's kind of a cool concept. Like, and then halfway through the series, he realizes like, yeah, I got rid of my childhood trauma, but I still like being an evil bastard kind of thing. Yeah. But I guarantee you, just with how bad this ended, they're not even going to fucking, like, this is going to be Secret Invasion all over again. They're not even going to fucking reference it. Marvel is starting to feel like the comic books where nobody in editorial is talking to one another. Like nobody knows what the fuck is going on with one series to the next. And it's getting real bad. Anyway, that's my TED Talk for tonight. See y'all later.
We have more.
I know. I'm just being fun.
Because I want to step outside of that a little bit. And first of all, the people in charge of the powwow, they need to pick better volunteers. Like they need to do background checks or something, because
you think they got time to do background checks?
They have nothing but time to do background checks. It doesn't take much to look at somebody or whatever. Just be like, hey, where'd you come from? I don't recognize you.
Well, you mean like just wondering, like when you say background check, I mean like actually like looking into their like, oh, they were arrested multiple times and stuff like that.
I'm just saying, just like in general, like there's people walking around with volunteer shirts on that are obviously working for Kingpin. Yeah. And it's like, could you not be like you obviously don't know this person. Mm-hmm. Like they came from out of town. So like, yes, they probably stole the shirts. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, like if they didn't, they need to do better. They need to do better.
My complaint there was when Zane shoots the RPG and it just blows up randomly in the air. I was like, last time I checked, that's not how RPGs work. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
It was a lot that was just very, very lackluster. I mean, like, just even that whole, because that whole battle was just like, all of it was just done so poorly and so short. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Apparently, I need to sell my PlayStation 5 because I can do a lot of work on my truck by just selling a PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Biscuit somehow made a monster truck out of... First off, I'm going to suspend my disbelief for a split second. Like, why the fuck would you make your grandma's mail delivery truck a fucking monster truck? She can't even reach the fucking mailbox.
But if she goes off road, she has no problems anymore.
Who cares? And the thing though that annoys me the most, and Marvel's been doing this a lot lately, where the like side characters, the comedic relief characters, they started doing this with Darcy since like Thor 1 and 2 and 3. They have to give them something cool to do in the movie or the series. And I'm so tired of it. I really am. Like, I'm so fucking sick of it. When Biscuits like has the like, he's like, do you have a weapon? He's like, oh yeah, I got something. And then he has a monster truck. I was like, what? Like, we've peaked with like just the stupidity level of just like what this person can do in X amount of time. I don't know. It was real bad to me. It was real bad.
Yeah, that was Chula's truck is now supposed to be a monster truck. Like, what the fuck? That was my note pretty much. In fact, I had to do a double take because I was like, surely that's not her truck. Same as you. How is she supposed to deliver mail now? Like, this is it. I don't know. I don't know. Cold rocket.
Because it was in the ice chest.
That was a note next to a mellow yellow. Cool Coca-Cola property that nobody drinks.
Yeah,
Good talk.
it's garbage.
Their cherry mellow yellow Kamiki pasta is fantastic. You won't get it anymore, but it's fantastic.
I didn't know they made a cherry melon.
So one of the volunteers that was a Kingpin guy had a tattoo on his neck. And it's almost like they tried to focus in a little bit. Was that a 10 Rings tattoo? I haven't like actually Googled it to see if anybody has seen it or not, but it looked like it had 2 swords.
No, it's 2 knives.
2 knives? That was it?
Yeah.
Oh, well then why did they focus in on it?
Because they mentioned something about a gang called like the Black Knives or something like that. I forget what they're called.
Totally missed that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, it was part of Zane's crew.
It would have been cooler if they were part of the 10 Rings because then you could kind of start bringing that in.
Yeah.
And that could have been where the tech came from.
Yeah.
If they don't have something, I'm sure they have something else already planned, but I'm just saying, like, that would have been a cool little Easter egg.
Right.
10 Rings tattoo. That's what I want. I was hoping to see the grandpa at the lunch. It's very sad.
You talking about at the end?
Yes.
Man, that was the other thing. It was like, holy shit. They actually did it. They had a Fast and Furious family barbecue. I know they did a family barbecue at the end of She-Hulk, but this one looked very fast. Like I was waiting for the Corona to pop out and Dom to show up.
I didn't even think about the fact that they had one at the end of She-Hulk as well. And that's where Scar was introduced. I didn't even like put that together, but that's even more funny now.
Yeah.
Man. So the last note that I really have as far as like the actual episode, who the fuck is Bonnie and Biscuit's parents?
It's supposed to be Henry. I was about to say Hank. Damn it, Bobby.
God dang it, Bobby. So Bonnie at the skating rink, though, when she goes up there, she calls him Uncle Henry.
Oh my God. I didn't pick up on that. Wow. Yeah, then I have no fucking idea. Maybe they're Scullies? I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Or is it truly just a Fast and Furious where like everybody's just family?
Everybody's family.
It's all about family. That's a damn good question. I don't have an answer for you. Let me see if one of these wikis will.
So in the meantime, too, though, like I actually had to one thing I've been meaning to say is like I had to look up. Well, all I did was go on IMDb to see the last names, but like the young Maya,
okay,
if she was related to actually like the older Maya, because like it's almost perfect comparison between like the same facial expressions almost and everything. I was like did they record her like way back when like 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
They've been planning this since her inception in the comic books.
Yeah. It's just like, it was crazy how similar they were.
So, not related.
No, at least not the last names or no.
Okay. I was like, don't take us on this wild ride and just leave us hanging, Jeremy. Like, you had us all there. Like,
Yeah.
the last thing I have is like the mid-scene credits or whatever. So, do either one of y'all have anything else for this episode?
I do, but sorry, I was trying to find this answer. I cannot find any sort of fucking answer on who the fuck Bonnie's. Yeah, they just didn't. Again, this is how bad apparently the writing was for this series. Yeah, I forgot when mentioning about Biscuits. I wrote down Biscuits made that monster truck in a junkyard with a box of scraps. I just thought that was funny. Maya's Maya's mom Force Ghost healed her childhood trauma. I thought that was a funny comment. There was an Easter egg, the Roxxon gas station. When Maya throws away the contact, she stops at a gas station. It says Roxxon on the side of it. I thought that was at least neat.
Yes, the Roxxon. I forgot about that. I didn't make that note.
And that is it. The only thing I have is just the in credit scene notes.
Sorry, I'm reading. I'm reading a Reddit right now that's kind of trying to explain the lineage.
I think I'm on that exact same one as well.
So apparently Henry is not blood related. Is Henry Maya's father's?
Brother.
That's Maya's father's. Yeah. So that's where the uncle comes from.
Yeah.
And so this is saying that Maya's mother had two other siblings that we haven't met, and that's where
okay.
the kids. That's where Bonnie's parents.
Time
and
out. Then.
Biscuit's parents.
So Maya's grandma was so upset that Maya's mom died, but she had two other damn kids.
Right.
And she didn't want that makes Chula even more of a son of a bitch.
So that's what the Reddit is saying. All right. So take that for what it is. It's what the Reddit was, just the one little paragraph that I saw. I didn't see any rebuttals to it or anything like that. That's just what the Reddit was saying, is that Maya had other siblings. Maya's mother had other siblings, two other ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a mystery. You know, those parents apparently weren't good, and Biscuits and Bonnie were adopted by Chula.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Still doesn't make any sense.
No. No, not at all. So, last scene, we get Kingpin on a plane. He's going back. He's trying to regroup everybody, all the leads of all his teams, and he sees a debate going on TV as far as like who is going to run for mayor for New York. And they start talking about they need somebody who's strong, somebody who's a bare knuckles fighter, all the things that would like yes, Kingpin for mayor, because it happened in the comic books. So I assume we're getting that Born Again.
Yeah. The lines were like the voters want somebody who understands the pain they're going through. Exactly right. A bare knuckle brawler who would do well in this race. And Kingpin's like, well, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Because this is my city.
I know exactly what you're going through.
Yes, exactly.
I had to kill my father.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
beating the shit out of my mother.
I know. It was like they were literally using the lines that he said earlier in the series. I was just like, wow.
I've beaten the fuck out of many an ice cream men because they wouldn't hand over ice cream.
Yeah, you would think the newscasters go like, the voters want someone who will literally beat an ice cream man making fun of a deaf girl. It's that much on the nose.
And he has this look of like, should I? Is that really the route that I should go? Like, I kind of want like them to start up there and be like, no, fuck that. I didn't want to go for that. I'm going for presidency.
That would be they did it with Lex in DC. That would actually be kind of cool. Kingpin for president.
Well, didn't they do that with Harry Osborn?
Yes, they did.
Or
Norman.
Yes.
Not Harry. They did
Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
Yes, Norman Osborn. Yes, I apologize. Wasn't that for like Dark Reign?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that because they don't have like a Norman.
Norman's a fucking psycho. Like he's schizophrenic and stuff like that. So I don't like the idea of him being president. Kingpin would be a cool take on him running for president. Because I think Kingpin is smarter, if you know what I mean. Like, I think he's just a big, strong, fat guy. Norman at least has like the goblin serum to like enhance. So Kingpin's always like, I'm this master tactician that, like I said, I can ruin your day before I even have breakfast.
That's what I was going to say. He's more calculated than Norman, in my opinion. So, looks like we're heading into Daredevil Born Again from this. What is y'all's whelmings on the series?
Just, I would say whelmed. Like it was, which I hate because I enjoyed it there at the beginning, but it's kind of like what Richard said at the on this last episode. It's even just the last two. I mean, it just went downhill like real quick and just got very. I don't know why they had to shrink the episode. You could have done it all in like a 20-minute episode. These last two episodes could have just been like 20 minutes for all the actual real meat that the two episodes actually had.
Yeah.
So it just was like it's frustrating because I was really enjoying it, but it just didn't pan out.
Okay, so before Richard, because I meant to ask this. It's my fault.
Oh, you're fine.
On top of that, do you recommend people watch the series?
No, not necessarily. I mean, it's okay, I guess. It's not to me. It's just a tick above Secret Invasion. So I would probably recommend seeing this over Secret Invasion. But it's not one that I'm like, you got to watch it to be able to know what's happening or anything like that.
Well, and that's kind of the point of it. You don't like this is outside of the main shit that's going on, and I like that. Honestly, I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, I do too. I like having the side stories. So then seeing later where it comes into full circle, like in a movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to do it correctly. So.
No, yes. Well, yes.
Yeah. Frustrated is a very, very good word for this because I too. So, whelming overall, I would probably say whelmed. I'm not going to say underwhelmed, but just because I'm going to be nice, because I did love like episode 1 and 3, the like skating rink and then the Daredevil episode. But I'm also the type that if you fumble the landing so bad, the ending of your series or your whatever your season is just so bad, it ruins the whole fucking thing for me because it's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good the start of it is if the ending is bad. And the ending is real bad.
Yeah.
So would I recommend it? No. I would probably go like, hey, if Echo shows up in, say, Daredevil Born Again, or she shows up in a movie and someone's like, hey, I really like this character. Should I watch it? I would be like, yes, but only watch episode 1 and 3.
Yeah. But I mean, they won't know the hashtag from there.
Yeah. Who cares? You don't need to know. I didn't even bring up but her superhero costume is even lame looking. Like, it's not even cool looking. Like, it was cool when she had the tunic on, but it was still like ill fitting in my opinion. And then she whips it off and I'm like, put it back on. It looked better with the tunic. What are you doing? I don't know. All this was a big misstep for me. I just thought they could have done way cooler stuff, especially because like just her normal like running about costume with the like leather with the copper accents, and she has the little sun thing on the shirt underneath, which is from her comic book counterpart.
Well, she even had that on the jacket. That was like a standard emblem.
Right. Yeah, but I'm just saying like that looked better than the thing that she got at the end of the series. I don't think I would recommend the whole series. I just recommend 1 and 3. And it just sucks because it is a spotlight thing. So it is one of those things like, oh yeah, this character, because I could easily see them bringing Echo into something and she be written way better than this series. And they'd be like, oh, it's so cool. I like this character. And then they go back and watch Echo and they're like, oh, what terrible writing this series was.
Let's see. I'm going to say I was whelmed to pleasantly whelmed for me, because I would say I'd give it like a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Out of 5. Well, because I'm going 5 episodes and like I enjoyed all the way up to episode 3. That was fun. and then like half of 4, because like I said, can't stand Chula. And then 5 was like a big lead up to what's already been said. It's somewhat of a disappointment. So, yeah, I'd say, whelmed to pleasantly whelmed for me. As far as should I recommend it? I mean, I'd recommend it over some other things, but it's not one of those I'm saying, hey, go run out and watch it kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'd probably tell you to go watch Ms. Marvel before not Ms. Marvel, the Marvels, the movie The Marvels before I told you to watch this.
Brie Larson.
That was more fun. Do I like this more than Ms. Marvel? I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's weird.
I honestly, my wife, even because my wife hated this ending as well, because she really liked the character of Echo and how, again, she was like this unapologetic, like strong female lead. And then they just did this dog shit of an ending where she's wielding the power to heal trauma or something like that. Whereas before she was like kicking ass and like killing people and stuff. It's just so, like I said, it wasn't even a 180. It was, but yeah, I liked Miss Marvel. We were talking about how the last couple of like with Secret Invasion and now this, it's like, we're like changing our rankings of where like certain things. I was like, you know what? I liked fucking, Falcon and the Winter Soldier better than this. I liked fucking Moon Knight better than this. We shit on Moon Knight a lot. I liked Moon Knight better than this. And this had more TVMA stuff in it.
I think I did like Moon Knight, but I was kind of on the Moon Knight front. I don't know that I like Miss Marvel more than this. I'll say that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Iman Vellani's great, and I love her character, and I think she did fantastic in the Marvels. But I don't know that I enjoyed that story, that series more than I enjoyed Echo.
I did, as far as like compared to Echo. Like I had like, don't get me wrong, Miss Marvel's not like a perfect piece of media, but it was at least a cohesive story and arc and everything else.
Because I didn't like the ending of that either.
Yeah.
Like going back and thinking about the ending, I did not like the ending of that.
To me, again, it at least made sense.
I guess. The people dying at the end trying to get back to their dimension, I'm like, okay, this is just a waste. Fuck y'all.
Both this ending and Secret Invasion had these just wallop of like out of left field, here's the ending kind of thing. And it was just like, where y'all didn't even set this shit up. The basics of storytelling.
Yeah. Well, do y'all want to see Maya Lopez Echo back in anything?
I would. Like, I like her as an actor. I like her character for the most part. So, yeah, I hope that they still bring her around and rectify what they did here.
Cool.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I would. I like the actress that plays her. I want to see her redeemed.
Maya or Gaia?
Oh, Maya.
Yeah.
Again, Secret Invasion was
That's
way
true.
worse than
That's
this.
True. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I
was just thinking about like people with ridiculous power sets that shouldn't have these ridiculous power sets kind of thing.
Well, I don't find Maya's power ridiculous other than it's just not, again, the power to heal trauma is dumb.
Heal trauma, super strength, accuracy.
I don't even know if is it really even super strength or is she's just stronger than the average bear? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, to sit there and get her foot out of that train connector.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. There you go, folks. You heard it here first, last, whenever it was. Starting this March, though, we're going to be doing something we're calling Mutant Madness, where we are going to go through, 13 of the mutant films?
It's a lot.
And, right? We're going to square them off, and we're going to find out what the best mutant film is. This is including movies like Deadpool, Deadpool 2, The New Mutants, Wolverine movies, all 7 of the X-Men movies. So yes, y'all will get y'all's Mutant Madness on here in March.
Buckle in.
Yeah.
Buckle in. Cool. Jeremy, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitch under the handle Night Fury GTO. That's Night with a K. And you can find me here. And I did play Spider-Man this week. And I got through where Miles and Finn they got captured because of Uncle Aaron, and they break out.
Always Uncle Aaron.
Okay.
Get
Cool.
in there.
Good. Good. Maybe we can finally talk about Spider-Man 2 next year.
No, I'll have it way before then. Promise.
I don't believe you.
Well, I'm gonna do my best.
Richard, where can they find you?
If you want to contact me directly, I have an X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram, and a Threads. My handle is Night Curry, night like day and night, and Curry with a K. If you want to contact us directly, we have a Gmail. Our Gmail is comicallycomicspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to check us out on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics Podcast. And if you want to check us out on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, you can check us out under the name Comically Comics with an X.
Awesome. You can find me on Instagram, eBay, and shortbox22_comics. You can also find me on YouTube at 22 comics. Thank y'all so much for watching, listening. Hope you enjoyed as much as we did making it. With all that being said, say goodbye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy.
Bye, Jeremy. Bye.
What did you just do? What did you do? Huh? What did you do?